Okay. Calling the January 14th, 2025 Parks and Rec meeting to order at 2 minutes after 7. So we'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. You can jump in if Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Happy New Year, everybody.
Same to you.
You could stay until the middle of the month.
That's tomorrow.
So
Yeah.
it's cut off now.
Yeah, they cut off, tomorrow's the 15th. So our agenda, I'll throw that up on the screen.
Sure, we'll be back if you want this one.
I did read it online. So.
Okay.
Sure. Remember, you can take
All
notes. I have an extra pen for you if you need.
All right, we went through 1, 2, public comment, 3, review and approve minutes from last month's meeting. Any additional agenda items? AED update. March 11, 2025 annual park user meeting prep. And then the exciting thing that we're gonna do today is work on our 2025 programming. Any new business and then adjournment. So for public comments, we do have Ryan O'Donnell as attending in person, who I'll let you introduce yourself if you'd like.
Sure.
All right.
Hi, I'm Ryan. My wife and I just bought our first home here a few months ago. We moved around a lot, within Manhattan, Baltimore, Los Angeles. Now we're settling down, we have 2 kids. Let's get more involved in promoting park use and, just being more civically engaged.
So he submitted his application for the opening, and then the Borough Council will vote on it at the next meeting. So thanks for your interest, and thanks for coming tonight.
And welcome to Narberth.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is Brian O'Donnell?
Ryan.
Ryan O'Donnell?
And so while we're doing introductions, so we also have with us Jean Barak, who is the liaison for Borough Council, who used to serve on Parks and Rec with us. So she's still connected to us, which is great. And then this is Jeff Eldon, who's the Director of Public Works, who keeps our town, does an amazing job with little resources that. So we're very grateful to have him attend our meetings and be a big supporter of us. And then we can go around.
Dennis Brogan, been around this town for, despite my youthful appearance, about 38 years or so. And it's now just about retired, and it's a beautiful place, great place to live. So you chose wisely.
And I've been here just 10 years now. I have 2 young kids, and I've been on Parks and Rec for a few years now, and it's a great town, great things happen here. So yeah, thanks for coming.
I'm Cheyenne Toscano. I've also been here 10 years and have 3 kids.
I'm Rebecca Moore. I've been here 25 years, 2 adult children, and it's a nice little town.
I'm Jamie Day. I was born in Narberth, moved away, and then moved back. We're on Woodside now. I have a little girl who's in 3rd grade, and yeah, I love it. There's no place like it. The community is amazing, and yeah, it's just a really good little place to live. I feel like a lot of people, it's like a boomerang effect when you're from here. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're actually coming at a good time too, because the Borough Council is now looking at a master plan for parks. So you'll be involved, as part of Parks and Rec in all the kinds of things that will be happening in the next couple of years. So good time.
Yes,
Thank you for the introduction.
you're welcome. So does anyone have any comments on the meeting minutes from last month? or are we ready to approve them? All right, motion,
Motion to approve the minutes?
second,
Second.
all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, minutes from last month are approved. Any additional agenda items? No? All right. AED update. So that was an action item for me. I identified,
Remind me what AED stands for?
oh, a defibrillator,
Got it.
automatic,
Yes, the heart thing.
Emergency.
defibrillator, yes. So I didn't connect with anyone from Mainline Health, but I identified all the people in the community outreach roles in Bryn Mawr and Lycanol. So any chance anyone knows these people before I start reaching out to them? We have Rashida Myers. No,
Now, who are these people?
oh, community outreach roles at Lycanol, because I'm going to reach out and ask them if they would donate an AED device for our park or make a donation towards it, because the goal is by April to have an AED centrally located in Narberth Park.
Is that just to Lankenau you're reaching out, or?
For now, just Lycanol.
Is it like the Mainline Health umbrella?
Yeah, Mainline Health umbrella, which
My next door neighbor's president of Bryn Mawr Hospital.
then their C-suite within the Mainline Health system. That's,
I'll reach out to him.
yeah, that would be better than me cold calling these people. So, yeah, if you don't mind taking that as an action item, ask them, who can we get in touch with about donating an AED for our park? Thank you. That's easy. All right, back to the agenda then. All right, the annual park user meeting prep. Over the last couple of years, we've had a successful annual park meeting, user meeting with the same attendees invited. And we don't always get a large participation in person, but does anyone have any recommendations as we prepare for that meeting? I plan to send the invitation to the same user group, same businesses and users of our park. And what this is, Jamie and Ryan, is every spring we do a meeting with the groups that utilize the park the most. So like Narberth Athletic Association, which organizes the intramural sports, 4th of July committee, the music in the park programs, etc. And then we find out from them just how things are going with their use of the park, anything that they want to see changed, improvements, etc. It's just an opportunity for them to have us as a captive audience. And that's it. So then there's no,
It's an event in the playground, like at the park, or is it here?
oh, we do it here.
We do it
just-
here, okay.
We make them the focus of our March meeting,
March meeting, okay, got it.
and it's just like an open forum for them to share, brainstorm, etc.
Okay.
And yeah, give them a voice. And the only thing is, with the transition in leadership, the professional side of the borough, I'll check with Alan before he leaves to get the calendar, the most updated calendar prior to that. And then I'll invite Maggie, our new borough manager, to attend that one because it'll give her an opportunity to meet more people. Okay, so I'll invite Maggie
How much longer is Helen gonna be here?
till the beginning of February or the middle of February. I can't remember. Do you remember, Jeff?
I do not know.
Yeah, sometime in February. Right. Now to the exciting agenda item, the programming for what we discussed during the November and December meeting was possibly a cornhole tournament and movie night and a food truck festival. The educational programming can be done, I believe we discussed can be done, ongoing. It doesn't have to be part of this this program. And before we jump into the specific sub items here, Rebecca had an idea that she'd share with me between the meetings. And I said, great, bring that up. That might be one way to approach our first one, our pilot, so that we're not duplicating efforts by having the events on different days, which is double the advertising, double the fundraising, et cetera. So Rebecca, do you want to share your thoughts?
Well, yeah, if the goal is to get more of the community involved in and knowledgeable about our parks and making it a more playful environment and a way to engage with them. Rather than trying, because it just takes a lot of effort for all of us to be working on all these different things at different times of the year, at least coming out of the gate. So I had suggested that why don't we have like celebrate Narberth Parks Day, like on a Saturday or a Sunday in the summer, and have events happening concurrently at the different parks, but maybe focusing on different efforts at each park. For example, at the Elm Grove, it would be more the environmental, natural, and I don't, again, we have all these things, we could tie them in. So then I was looking at I Googled if there's any national recognition days for Parks and Rec. And there's a National Parks Day, but apparently the entire month of July is the Recreation and Parks Month. I had no idea. And it's primarily focused on this one day, but that's for people that have oversight of parks and the volunteers. But the entire month is dedicated towards Parks and Rec, which makes sense, being in the middle of the summer. So I wondered if we might want to at least fold it into July, since it's this national recognition month for Parks and Rec. But that was just it. And then talk about what could happen at each of these parks and, scheduling around each of these parks. So that way we could do it all in one day and make it a bigger event than it might otherwise be if we're having, like a food truck day or something, something like that. But anyway, I thought it would be fun. Like you could almost see having like I don't know if I'm saying this right, a quizzo on Narberth history or a quizzo on Narberth parks and things like, like fun things that would bring people together and have fun at the either, I think you were gonna have like, you were talking about doing like beer or something like that.
Yeah, that has to be worked out with having the Greeks provide beer at the State Line parking lot during the food truck festival.
Yeah, something like that.
But, and then a
Yeah.
DJ at the food truck festival, like a local kid, guy or girl who would want to volunteer to be a DJ that has their own gear. And then like maybe do some songs to get the kids dancing, whatever, but so other people's thoughts on doing it all in one day, like food truck in lunchtime and then in the evening cornhole followed by a movie night.
Or other, we can
Just
talk about
other
what those things
activities.
would be.
Yeah,
And what are the goals of what we're trying to do? And that's to bring more people into the parks. To help people understand that there are actually 4 parks in Narberth. Not everybody might be aware of that. So what can we do to introduce people to all of it? And that was it.
Kind of like that with the food truck, DJ, just cornhole, like that could all be going on.
Right, we could have maybe in Narberth Parks, Park, have maybe different family activities and competition, fun things for the family to do here.
Would it be like Sabine Park would have the food trucks and then Narberth Park would have?
I don't know, that's what we could talk about, yeah. I mean, I'm not the
July is
expert.
a big day in Narberth anyway, July 4th.
July 4th, yeah,
So-
I wrote that down, just wonder if that would impact on it
It's
negatively.
always so hot on that fourth, like, we go to the park and then we're like, oh, we'll just stay like 30 minutes because it's miserable and we
Yeah.
go in.
Yeah.
Or we wanna go to the pool or something like cool down. That's,
Yeah,
I guess that's my concern with July.
Yeah.
And everyone, a lot of people are on vacation too during that time as well, so.
My other
but-
concern is that, like, especially for families with kids that are maybe not gonna wanna go to like 3 differently timed events at different parks. I don't
Well,
know.
I would think that some people might be interested in going to the environmental talks. Some people are gonna be interested in going to the food trucks and the beer.
Maybe the
Yeah,
environmental
I guess
piece would
that-
be in the morning.
I guess it was more that I thought that like, by holding all the things the same day, you might dilute the audience for each, because people won't wanna go to as too many things, but
Yeah.
you're right, it depends to what extent you think these are overlapping or separate audiences.
Right, they're close, at least close enough by each other too.
Right,
We're not, they don't have to get in the car.
Sabine is really just kind of the kids' playground at this point, isn't it?
Well, the reason we thought of doing it at Sabine is because of the open parking lot. And the
For the food
vehicles,
truck stop.
food trucks can form a U shape. And then everyone can congregate in the middle. It also gives exposure to Sabine Park. The park's right there, the kids can play. It's versus having food trucks lining Windsor Avenue.
No,
And
that's a
then with
good
the
point.
fence there and logistically,
So
it's easier.
We also have to think about downtown, where like a station
Station
circle is,
circle.
to also encourage, there's people to buy food and stuff at the restaurants there too. I
Well,
don't know,
not on that day if it's a
Yeah.
food truck festival,
yeah,
but and one of the things we can do is promote the master park plan that by then should be adopted, right? Just, it's also an opportunity to have sandwich signs with information like we did during, during the 4th of July, when we had the signs there, and then Michael was handing out cards
yeah,
with the QR code, so.
I like the idea, not to interrupt, I like the idea of a fall food truck festival
Fall food truck,
at Sip and Sabine. I
Okay.
feel like that would be so well attended, and I feel like it's catchy, even saying it. And then I feel like for the 4th of July, like to celebrate parks, like the cornhole kind of goes along with that. Like I feel like there could even be the educational factor or something, like I feel like those could go hand in hand with like it's the. While we're at Elm Park, there would be something in the morning that's more educational and then. Something at the playground that's more active based or like music based.
is there any programming in the day of July 4th?
yes, it goes from.
Yeah, that's what I
it's
thought, yeah, I thought it was already pretty much,
Yeah, I feel like that's.
They used to
Yeah.
have some, even, like, they have races, but they would even have some adult races a little bit, but maybe.
Yeah.
Now
That
it's
could
just
be
kids,
followed up with
it's a
cornhole
three-legged
tournament.
race, a sack race,
Right,
and a sprint.
right,
yeah, so that's actually already covered.
cause I like the fall idea up at Sabine. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that To me, we started talking and I started thinking,
All that,
I have been there on 4th of July when it's so big on hot, you're going like, especially if you're jockeying
and
kids.
you're in a
Right.
parking lot, that's the heat,
You know,
the heat.
yeah.
So and then you get into July and, a lot of times, Narberth's pretty quiet. By the time you get to the end of July and August, it's, not everybody's got summer homes like, Jamie does, but I mean, I know.
That'd be nice.
But I'm just saying that, that people, take advantage of getting to the shore, going to wherever they vacation, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
So I'd like the fall truck,
Fall food truck,
Sabine.
They- yes, say hello to the fall. Well, then, is it one thought sometime in the month of July, but obviously not the weekend after Fourth of July, is to do a movie night when the sun's down and it's
Yeah.
not 100 degrees,
Sure.
like celebrate parks, National Parks and Rec Month, whatever the official.
No, I think we would just have a movie night, don't you?
It's
We'll
hard
come celebrate
It'd be
with,
fun.
join us for movie night and
on behalf of Parks and Rec Month, like I feel like it's nice to celebrate.
it's July's
that.
National Park Month, join us for a movie night. And we pick a night in July. Obviously it can't be a school night if we wanted to make it
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, twice there's summers.
Oh, wait, that's
Yeah.
right. What am I saying?
But also,
What a rotten guy
it's
sending
late,
kids to
so
school.
for kids, it's hard in the summertime.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's what I was thinking,
Well,
movie
no,
night is
because
hard,
the
it has
sun
to
doesn't-
start at like
yeah.
9 o'clock at night.
We
Yeah,
had talked about
something.
doing the movie night earlier, I think,
Yeah.
maybe in June.
Spring or spring or.
Or,
June.
I think it has to be spring
June
or
is the
fall.
longest day of the year, June 20.
I would think so fall, I would go back to fall too,
Fall.
because again,
Well, it doesn't have to be pitch black, correct, to project a movie.
I don't know.
Especially if you put it in the gazebo where it's already kind of shaded, is that
And then
possible?
I feel
everyone
like when you go to a
sits.
drive-in, it doesn't start till like 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's what I was
Dark.
thinking, 9 and.
So I've done some outdoor movie nights in our backyard. And generally, the only times you can really do it is like in October, like when it gets darker sooner. Because,
Yeah.
especially with kids.
And it will still be comfortable enough to be outside and not to really to
Would
see it.
April be good?
April,
Yeah.
Because if we're just doing a movie
April,
night,
May.
then it's
Yeah.
not as big a lift as all the other ancillary activities.
Yeah.
It's just a movie night that we would find someone to donate a screen in AV.
Well, we have I found a vendor actually, that we can contact to get pricing for doing that. I don't know if we would, are we gonna try to find somebody who's gonna donate all that to us?
Ideally, because
Okay.
this is something that doesn't
Somebody
require
know
us to output.
I do, I have on Woodside, I know they have neighbors that have it in their backyard. I can ask them. I don't know how big the screen is, but I can ask. them.
Yeah, that would be the main, the main thing is how big of a screen.
Yeah, right.
I can also check at the library because I'm pretty
Yes.
sure they have a projector that they rent, maybe with,
Speaker,
for loan. I don't know about the sound situation.
okay.
I went to a Halloween movie someone was doing with the one from the library,
Yes, you mentioned.
and there
that.
was a lot of tech stuff going on to like make it work, so
Okay,
we'd wanna make sure we knew how to work it and that
sure,
it
we
was functional
definitely
at the time.
Were you
tested.
guys able to find out about the licensing or like?
Well, that's that's why
Rebecca.
I have the vendor, I just didn't wanna contact them
Okay.
without knowing any details about when and how many we're gonna, just any estimates, because I don't know if that impacts on costs
Right.
for licensing and everything else, because we do have to be real careful about that. Yeah,
So
We
if we
can't
were to
just show
do it when in April, when it's not
Right.
too cold,
do you have
what we
any
want.
of this from your past where you've been before?
I've never, I've gone to a bunch, but I never actually, I was worried about sound, like,
Yeah.
outside, you need a lot of power. Does the town have a PA system or anything?
When they do the music in the park, the bands bring their own amps.
Would
Right.
Danny, the guitar guy, be able to help?
So they pay a sound guy to come and set up.
That would make more sense.
I can reach out to a few people, because in my profession prior to here in commercial landscaping, we used to host these nights for like every large HOA community that we did. We probably did like 10 or 15 a year. So I know a company over in Jersey, that I used to deal with. They were relatively cheap from what I recall. The last one I did was in 2019, so I'm sure things have changed since then. But I remember it being around $1,000.
Mhm.
They bring the screen, the player, the sound system, they hook up, set up.
Well, that's what we want.
They put it play
They
when you're
just do
ready.
it, yeah.
And
Yeah, instead of us trying to jerry rig.
I'll reach out to Tammy Cohen. She's the director of Parks and Programming over at Ladner Township. Because they host them each year as well.
Okay,
So I'll see what sort of hoops they need to jump through to be able to play a film.
They make great popcorn, my son's always asking me to do that, so.
All right, you're on the popcorn.
Popcorn stand, roll it in.
Well, actually, that would be kind of fun to have one of those
I was
popcorn.
gonna say.
Yeah, we would have to have something like that.
Yes.
I know that the Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts that my kids belong to, their troop and pack are talking about getting a popcorn maker. We'll see. if-
Urge them on, like tell them we'll test
they
it.
could, they could,
They could do popcorn concessions, but.
Yeah.
and then they would use it as an opportunity to fundraise.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and then, of course, you know who will show up. Whether they're invited or not is Mr. Softy, as long as they don't turn their music on.
Right, can you imagine that going around and around as the movie's playing?
That would be,
Yeah, they'll just park it, they'll park it and,
yeah,
They'll make money.
you know, it is, that does get kind of annoying.
so. Then what, date
Well, let me look at
would
the
be
calendar.
ideal?
the
So
borough
that we can,
calendar.
Because we'd only have the March meeting before it,
It looks
So I
like
was gonna say
something's
April
going on
sounds
the
soon.
fifth.
but we can also coordinate via email. You don't have to
Right.
wait.
Yeah,
Oh, it's spring break, April 14th for public schools.
It is.
That might be something fun.
Which, oh, I thought spring break was the last weekend in March, first week in April this year.
well, this would
Hold
have,
on, let me just make sure, I should text my husband, and make sure, let me see. I wonder, who I did put it
Well-
in like last year. Sean, do you have your schedule?
Passover
I
ends
thought
on
I
the
did.
12th,
I have
and when is Easter?
all of
It's
Passover.
usually
on
right
the
between
calendar.
those two.
Let's see, Easter.
Well, I'm gonna stop sharing because I believe I have the calendar on my desktop for the school. We're 24, 25.
25, yeah. It is the 14th, it's the 14th to the 18th.
Yep, it is, okay. And that must be 26, 20, 25, 26. I was looking at the other day. Okay. So,
I don't know if that's a good time to have it or not have it, I have no idea, I don't want people away.
Well,
Yeah.
there's, that whole week has Palm Sunday,
Got it.
Good Friday, Passover on the 12th,
So maybe-
Easter on the 20th.
Like the last week of April,
Yeah, like the
or the
25th,
May 1st,
26th.
Friday, the 25th,
yeah. That works.
as our target.
Yeah.
And who can quickly Google sunset, April 25th? Who's got the fastest thumbs?
7:51,
Yes.
oh, I have 7:50.
Perfect.
Friday, said April 25th?
We had a Gene here, I would put my money on Gene.
I don't know what, yeah, you're probably right.
Yes, Jeff.
April
That's
27th.
the night before the 5K.
Oh, then that's,
Hmm,
that will
that
work,
was not a
because
great
they're already
one.
set up.
Yeah,
It's not that they'll be in the way, I just don't know if parents who are involved in the run will be.
Okay,
right.
That Friday.
I agree.
Then,
That's a great,
They'll run at 9 a.m. Saturday morning.
Okay.
I know they have their sign-up events,
Do you
and
wanna do it the day of the run, like, cause it's a morning event, right?
yes,
Do
it
it
is. a
Saturday
morning
night
event.
instead.
Actually, that's a good idea because we could also have a poster up near
Yeah,
near the registration table
That's a
to remind people.
bonus advertising.
Great idea.
The following week is Narberth Day.
Everyone can be with our birthday.
Perfect, okay.
So
The 26th.
Okay.
26th,
April
we're gonna-
26th, yeah.
Saturday, April 26th. It's late enough in this. Yeah, it's warm enough. People aren't going to the shore yet.
Yep. It's perfect. Love it.
Saturday, April 26th. And we could put 7:30 start time, use 7:51, it's sunset, so they could literally, we could start at 7:45.
We'll need that half hour of technology issues.
Yeah.
Totally.
So tentatively 7:30.
Yeah.
Advertised time.
Okay.
Okay. 7:30 PM. Then I'll check with Alan to make sure there's no conflicts that evening. And I like Jamie's idea of putting the screen in the gazebo. Some
Yeah.
power's there too, and they get to put the speakers on the.
On either side, like over the steps, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Depending
speakers
on
off
how,
to the side.
like,
You're right,
inflatable,
where it
yeah,
goes.
or if it's a roll down, like, I feel like that's.
Yeah, somewhere at the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We just have no way of turning off that street light that's right there.
Oh, that's right.
Street light behind it.
But on the corner of the skate park, like right out back,
Oh, that's right,
Can we
yeah.
do like blackout? Oh, because it's gonna be the people watching, it's gonna be in their faces, is that what you're saying?
so, you know, there's ample power in the scoreboard room, in the field house, you know, the power of this, so we can really put it wherever.
Okay.
You
Like
know,
the field house room, like put it on the bricks by the library, is that what you're saying?
Well, there's an outlet at the gazebo, correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
yeah, there's several there, there's a few scattered about the field.
Yeah.
You know, we have a large breaker in the scoreboard building, and there's a field house.
So we shouldn't have a problem wherever it's gonna be located.
Did we don't have a cherry picker. So there's no way to go up there and put like a black plastic bag over it the day before, right?
Watch it melt.
Yeah.
Like one of the heavy duty garbage bags,
All
put a
my
sock over it.
They put like window tints on it, like how can you put like a light tint on it?
all my list of things to ask for here, but
There,
Cherry
get
picker.
that on there.
those trucks are.
Jeff's always wanted a cherry picker. Now he's got a reason.
Well, we do own the street lights, right, but we have no way of maintaining them.
So you can't turn off a specific light.
Everything is a phone call to a contractor, so.
Okay.
Wow.
Is there enough lead time to realistically say? Are you able to disable one light? Or is, it's not like
Do
the
we have
lights are managed individually, right? They're all interconnected?
Yeah, that's fed off of a photo cell,
Okay.
so yeah, I mean, that would have to be a coordination with Pico to get them to come up.
Oh, God, no.
and take power out, so
Um,
I would say, you know.
We do it in
It's 2028.
Jerry.
Yeah, tints on there.
They have it on the calendar.
You can pull out the BB gun then.
Oh, now, I mean, I assume they must.
Well, the guy who lives right across from Foxhole,
uh-huh.
you know, up here on Inwood, when the new LED lights went in, he shot an arrow through it.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah.
Just-
Okay.
I guess we could also do it in, oh no, Elm Grove has absolutely no power.
Or
We can run it from my house and extension cord.
if the screen, if they have the own self-sufficient freestanding screen,
Doesn't matter where
if
it is.
it went on the side of the library, does that change the light?
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
that seems like a minor detail we could figure out before then.
absolutely.
Okay,
Maybe we could do like a test run the week before, just.
Yeah, we can all get
you
it.
can sit there
Yeah.
at 7:51, but, and,
I'll just sit there, like, even just to see what the glare is like,
Yeah.
when you're sitting in the dark with that in
okay.
your eye.
Well, that's great then, Saturday, April 26th, 7:30 PM at gazebo and,
Or wherever,
or wherever.
wherever it makes sense.
And Jeff will find out what Radner, how
Okay,
Radner does it. Tammy, and then, send us the contact info for your old vendor. And you can check with your vendor to see if they're willing to, what they're willing to do, if they would donate or discounts. Cause they also get free advertising, they can put a sign up.
Well, they do for different, there's different categories, and one of them is
Nonprofit.
Parks and Recreation.
Okay.
One is schools, Parks and Recreation, business.
Okay.
So they do have different pricing tiers based on,
We could also put up in Narberth Community Network, who's willing to donate a screen
Yeah.
and AV for movie night.
yeah, the only thing that would worry me about something like that is if we advertise and somebody's gonna donate, unless we're really confident in the technology that the equipment has. Yeah, I always kind of worry, so you get all these people and then you find out that you really can't get it to operate the right way.
That is a great point. It works at home.
I do have a screen, like we have a screen.
How big?
I mean, it's not that large, it's probably about 8 feet wide or so.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Let's
first
see what
the-
Radner says as
So
far
it's
as,
25-foot one with a blower for 200 on Amazon.
an inflatable.
Yeah, because 9 out of the 10 of the companies that you would call and rent one from, they're inflatable screens. So they're massive, they're the same size as actually going to see them.
So you just found one for 200 and change on Amazon. Okay, that's always an option to
Yeah, does Jean have a
keep it as a resource for the borough.
council credit card? You could just order it right now.
However.
But 2025.
Wait a minute, no, we don't want to go that far. We don't want to give every one of them a credit card. It could be a problem.
Well, so we have options, but at least we can commit to the date and time, and then I'll email Alan to confirm there's no conflict.
And what type of movie are you thinking of?
Well, that's the next question. We want to do something that attracts all ages. Obviously, it's gotta be PG or lower. So any thoughts? And obviously copyright, like,
Yeah, well, if we use a vendor, they have a list of different movies.
they can play.
Yeah, that you can basically rent and they'll take care of the license.
Okay. Well, I imagine the Radner will tell you
Mhm.
about
Good idea.
that. But does anyone have movies that they can think of? That would be fun.
I feel like with Wicked being so big, you could do Wizard of Oz.
The original,
Yeah, just as like a little play on that class.
that's one idea, that's great, okay. Any other ideas?
Generally, the older movies are much cheaper to license.
Oh, really?
I would think they are.
Yeah.
Like that one still sticks for everybody. Like the Wizard of Oz, I don't know, so I guess it still works.
Because we're not charging
Then we should.
admission for the movie.
What about Halloween?
Yeah,
I guess it's not.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. Moana, it's always like, but I don't know if that's too.
This Pixar in general.
I mean,
I'll think
just to
so.
throw out an idea, you could charge like maybe like a optional donation for like the library or something like that.
I'll just put a bid out there, donations.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like a suggested admission fee or something like that.
Okay. So that's a thought too.
So when I lived in Iowa City, they had like a weekend movie night during the summer kind of thing at their pedestrian mall downtown. So their list for this summer, they have, I don't know what this movie is, Summer of Soul, The Marvels, The Tooth Fairy.
Oh my God, what about the Goonies?
I thought of the Sandlot.
And E.T., Sandlot, that's a good
E.T.'s
one.
a good one, yeah. Barbie, Spies in Disguise, Hercules, Trolls Band Together, Super Mario Bros. Movie. So they have a lot more new movies.
Chronicles of Narnia,
Halloween Town.
Sound of Music. I'm just spitting stuff out, sorry.
We're just listing movies, yeah.
So Wizard of Oz. And any Pixar movie.
Well, why don't we all try to come up with a couple and then we
Yeah.
can just vote over.
I feel like Wizard of Oz
Email.
and Sandlot,
Yeah.
those are pretty cool.
Sandlot just seems like a movie you would watch in the park, I don't know.
And like all people, I can feel like that's, everyone loves that movie.
Yeah, the nostalgia of it for
Yes.
the parents.
Exactly.
Parent age people,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Then we can coordinate the rest via email and I'll email Alan tonight to confirm that evening is open and we'll go from there. So movie night, check, and Fall Food Truck Festival. So does anyone know, before I go on the borough calendar, when the
I have it
the
open.
music festival, is that in October? When they close the streets? That's usually October, correct?
So
Jeff, do you
I
know?
think one's in June, one's in October.
October,
Yeah, there's nothing in Saturday, if it's on the weekend. I mean, there's nothing in September if it's on the weekend.
okay,
Yes, September sounds good.
Yeah, October Fest, is that what it's called or something? That's on the 11th of October.
perfect. So what does September look like for everybody?
Well, the thing with September is back to school, those first few weeks, I think, are quite,
Yeah, that's.
Busy
I would,
for
yeah,
parents.
definitely target mid-September or mid to late September.
So yes, the first, not the first 2 weekends, but the last
like the
two.
20th or the
27th.
27th.
Yeah.
Would we want to do it on a Saturday or a Sunday? I will pull Eagles. Wait. Next year's schedule doesn't get released until May. NFL schedule.
Oh, good call.
I wouldn't want to do
Yeah,
it on a Sunday at 1 o'clock if there's an Eagles game at 1 o'clock.
yeah,
But
unless we're
It'll
playing
be-
the
It'll
Eagles
be
game.
7:30 or 8 o'clock at night or Monday, you know, the way the Eagles
Well,
only get two
but-
games at
actually,
1:30.
We have a screen
Yes.
that's inflatable with power during the food truck festival. We could play the Eagles game there maybe somehow.
That's
It might
an
be
idea, too.
complicated. Could be fun, I don't know.
Yeah.
that is a great idea that,
I don't know where Savon would have
So-
power.
so let's not let the Eagles derail us. So do we want to do a Saturday or Sunday? What do you think?
Jeff, is there any power up at Sabine?
Not on the park side.
Mm. So if we do it on, just stick to a Saturday for this year, keep it simple for this year and then. We. Yeah.
Thoughts on Saturday or Sunday? No?
My kids have more Sunday stuff, but I don't know what other people's schedules are like.
They have more Sundays then, so.
Yeah,
I feel like, I know,
but I feel like that's like
I know.
just our thing. I don't know.
So Saturday.
I think Saturday probably, you know,
And then September.
people have to work, they get
We
ready.
thought the
Kind of finish up.
27th
Yeah.
or the
20th,
20th.
27th.
Yeah, so check and see which of those would work out best.
So we're 20th or 27th.
Because Oktoberfest is the 11th. So that puts a few, yeah, it only puts like 2 or 3 weekends between those two events.
Yeah. And I think it would be well attended because there is nothing in September. So
So maybe target the earlier weekend if that's
20th.
possible, yeah, just to space it with October.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
and about what time do you think we should start it?
So by then, is it still, we haven't changed the time, so it still will be okay.
Time doesn't change till, well, we don't know what's gonna happen. We can't-
Yeah, but-
Well, we had talked about it being a lunchtime event before, right?
Next Monday.
If it was part of a whole day of,
But I think even when we talked about the food truck festival, we said maybe as a lunch thing. But it wouldn't have to be.
it wouldn't have to be. Late,
Like, yeah, around
Nice, yeah.
late
4-ish.
mid-afternoon, because
3
people
to
can
4,
eat dinner
to
there.
like 8 or, yeah.
Mhm. 40, like 40.
Cause you wanted music too, right? So
Yeah.
4 to 8, 4 to 8,
Yeah.
Okay,
right? We're just guessing at all of this to start, right?
We are. And,
For,
well, we need we need that goal to work towards, so. We can always tweak it. So date, time, location, required resources and support. So there's no power outlet at Sabine Park. In the park area, Jeff, would we have to work with the businesses there, I mean, since the borough is the landlord, to get power from that building and run, and to food trucks, do they, when they've come to the park for other events, like Norbert Day, there's food trucks, they're just bringing their own generators, right?
We require them to supply their own
Power.
Yes.
Yeah, so we could make that the requirement. The only power we would need is for the DJ.
Yeah, which I'm sure we can find an outlet on that building.
On the outside, yeah, there's gotta be a GFI somewhere. And, okay, so they bring their own power and we just need power for the DJ. And then waste. How do we address that? Does the borough have the ability to bring more garbage pails there? Or do the vendors have to provide their own like cardboard folding garbage bin? So tell me about how we've done that.
For the Save On one,
Yeah, like, how have we done, I'm sorry, when we've done Narberth Day, we've got food trucks here. Have you guys had to bring out extra garbage pails?
we do supply extra trash toters, you know, those big cans on wheels.
Okay,
You know, we do keep a pretty hefty inventory of those to supply to our special event folk. And plus, you know, especially the one up at Sabine, you know, there's 2 or 3 dumpsters in that parking lot, you know, please feel free to use them.
yeah, so we could get, depending on how many trucks, some strategically placed garbage pails, okay.
I know Norbert Day has requirements for their vendors about like what type of.
Yeah, so it's
Like
not like,
stuff people are allowed to use,
So
like,
they're
so
not
you're not
coming
like,
in
oh,
like-
here's your,
on
yeah,
Earth Day,
styrofoam
the styrofoam cups.
And they also have people who are like digging through the trash and sort, like making sure stuff is composted and recycled and like properly sorted at that
Can
event.
we give that to the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts?
I'm gonna get a lot of volunteers for that specific.
Don't they get a badge?
But I mean, I could ask Patsy and Sasha Weaver, who I know does some of the sorting stuff. Like
Yeah.
Well, do they have
what they're,
specific, do they have bins that would help people differentiate?
Do it.
They print their own tags for the bins, so for our birthday, we provide them with 18 toters.
Oh,
And then they create their own tags for the lids on what goes in which can.
Do people usually follow that?
Mhm.
Wow,
It's the one time. it's the
look
one
at our young people, I never would have thought
is it out of guilt, like, the anxiety of which garbage pail do I use?
that.
Sasha is like the recycling captain that presides over the trash.
yeah, she like oversees the whole situation. She's
She
like
makes
got
sure
her
that
gloves
it
on.
happens for everybody.
You get in there and
Need
get that.
Yeah, no, I think you have to have someone there, like making sure it happens. if
He's
you
got a
want.
little special hat on, you know.
Well, maybe people from that group would,
That's what I'm wondering, maybe
Please.
Sasha wants to come to our event too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think collaboration is so important, like, I feel like that would be huge if we got that,
Yeah.
like, just to even raise awareness around it, I'm sure they would love to.
I can talk to her about their system and like see if
Yeah,
they're interested in.
cause I know I would love to, that plays into the educational side, like the thing that we were talking about, so that's. I feel like I actually need their information, cause I think that would be a fun little educational programming.
It's a totally different time of year from the Earth Day thing too, so I think that's helpful, but
Yeah,
Totally.
it's not in spring.
all right, that's resources and support, associated costs, we'll get back to advertising and promotion last. Associated cost, the food trucks, we wouldn't be paying them, they would be paying us to come, like we talked about last month. How the Mannion Food Truck Festival, they have to submit an application and payment. So we would cast a wide net
Where do you find food they, like, how would you know who to send it to?
well,
Is there like an alliance of food truck vendors?
I actually,
Let's go.
that is a great question. So we talked about pizza truck, taco truck, cheesesteak, and ice cream truck, so just starting small,
Right,
like 4 trucks. One of my neighbors, works with nonprofits to do advertising and fundraising. So he offered to be a resource for whatever programs we come up with tonight. And then he can, help with the advertising, the promotion, at pro bono. Because he's in the advertising industry and does this on
Yeah,
the side for nonprofits, so that's one resource. But does anyone else have other ideas, on advertising and promotion?
not me.
I think we have to be able to tell the food vendors, we're gonna have a good
Estimated
number of
numbers.
people here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how we get that,
Hmm.
that feedback or that kind of idea. of
Yeah,
what-
we can't
what
guarantee the
intent-
numbers that Manioc has.
Like, you know,
Everyone like, they
you know,
have, like
you
have a
could-
ticket or something, like.
You could say for, you know, like the 4th of July, they know there's always gonna be a lot of people, so that's not, you know, you get a track record, and you're starting off with something up at Sabine Park. I just think that's, I wonder what your friend who does these kind of,
Like maybe they have to
Things.
register if they wanna come to the food truck, it's not just like show up, if you wanna come, you have to register and get a ticket and then, or a wristband, I don't know, you know.
Well, it's more, does the food truck want to come all the way out
You
here?
would wanna do
Right.
it, yeah.
Right, so you have to give them an upfront idea of,
How much food to bring?
well, yeah, you can basically,
So, say if like you were to get an idea of like, I don't know if you can advertise, it, like if you were to say,
I
there's a
think-
food truck event. And
Right, but I think we need to get
This
the
time.
vendors on board earlier than you're gonna get people to.
because you have to
come
also
in.
advertise for the people that there's gonna be this
Mhm.
number of
Got
food
it.
vendors.
So it's done concurrently. And, okay,
there must be a craft beer truck you can, you know, I've been in some, yeah, venues or, you know, a couple, there's a golf outing or two. Some of these local breweries have their little craft beer truck. that they-
Yeah.
You know, something
They do.
like that would be. Yeah, again, I don't know what the limitations are in having a beer truck, you know, or, you know, serving it where, you know, are there
that's what I
special
have
rules? I
to,
don't know.
that's what I have to, go over with the borough. But we would prefer to have the Greeks do the beer and maybe the Great American Pub, because we're supporting a local business versus having like tired hands come. So,
It would be nice if there would be like a non-alcoholic beer, not like all those new non-alcoholic beers, non-alcoholic wines. You know, to have something like that there too, because
sure,
it's,
it's a new thing, it's a trend.
yes, it's a growing trend.
Yes.
The Greeks on Fridays has, you know, some beer company will come in, you know, and that Greeks next door. And last week,
That's what I wondered, if
And last
it'd be
week it
great to
was-
talk to.
it was Athletic, which is a
That's-
non-alcoholic.
We're really starting to get into that stuff, but still have to talk
All
about
right.
that, yeah.
One thing I did wanna flag was, I don't think we have a current like food truck application or
no, we don't.
so,
I was going to borrow most of the pieces from the Narberth one, which is publicly available. I mean, from the Manioc one, which is publicly available on the
Right.
Manioc Development Corp site. And then I would have to work on that with Maggie to get approval.
right, okay.
And how many food trucks did you wanna have?
Last meeting, we discussed, here. 4, pizza, taco, cheesesteak, ice cream. Obviously, most of them would have other things on their menu, but those were the foods we were going for. Does anyone have additional suggestions?
Think maybe like there's a smoothie truck or a juice truck, if that's a thing, or I know there's a guacamole truck as well. That might be in tandem with a taco truck or.
It's actually.
Falafel, something.
His trailer at Say Vine, who does that.
That's smoothies.
I
So
don't
they
know
could,
his name, I know he lives in town.
so he parks it there,
Parks his trailer there, yeah, so.
Yeah, just look like a little healthy option for people. I think it would like that.
okay, so we can add smoothies if that local vendor is interested. Out of parking lot. Take a
Knock on them.
Take a pic, yeah. You don't live in this trailer?
Does the borough charge him for having his parks there?
Yeah.
So it might, he works with the borough, he might want to be involved.
Sure, I'll take a picture of his side of his truck and give him a call. Okay. So we've got the date, the time, the 5 different types of trucks. I'll confirm with Alan that September 20th is available, and then we can get the ball rolling on the planning.
Okay.
And those are, we've gone through A, B, C, D, and E. And I will connect with my neighbor, let him know that we've landed on a day for the food truck festival. And go from there. All right, any new business as we wrap things up here?
New business, goes back to programming, I just reached out to, for the educational stuff.
Yes.
To activate the parks, reached out to Refugia. Jeff, I haven't heard back, but I just did this today, so I should let you know. And then I was gonna reach out to Shift as well, just to see what kind of ideas they might have, but I have reached out to Shift and also, well, I have it in my notes here, 1 second. We were also thinking, or just like brainstorming with a friend, in the Narbart program, that she said that in New York, just like a way of activating parks or to have people, if you wanna have an event and then have people donate for Parks and Rec events. They had in New York where you had a public sketch session, so an artist would come in and you would basically just sketch anything and they would like do a little talk and then they would kind of just go around and you just like a community event, more for artists, but I don't know, I felt like that was kind of an educational piece, not necessarily related to sustainability, but just an idea if we wanted to raise some money around that. I don't know.
It sounds like a fun thing that could be done at Elmwood, for example, like even though there's not a lot of
So the reason-
infrastructure.
That was what brought us up to it, is because we were talking about, doing temporary sustainable art, like getting sticks, and like building something with the community,
Fun.
right? Like
Yeah,
making
and
it
I think
be
very
cool. What's that?
Was this Emily you were talking to?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like,
We
my,
just
like my
had a
brain isn't
conversation
working,
about
I
it,
just need
yeah.
to like come up with some fun ideas, but, so, and she liked the idea of a scavenger hunt with art, but yeah, so that was more art stuff, but I think that
It's a nice tie-in though.
Yeah.
the tie-in, exactly, with the educational piece, so, but I will talk to Jeff, and he might have resources at Haverford College, and I know I've learned a lot from his Instagram alone, because he has, like Wednesdays where it's like they stay after work and they have somebody come in and educate them on things, so I know he has resources for that kind of, for those kind of topics.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, sorry, I didn't have more for you guys.
Okay. Then between now and the March meeting, we can communicate and plan
Yeah.
via email
Gonna have to.
because we're not asking, we're not voting on it.
Yeah.
We're not taking any action in that, that requires a vote. We're just planning
The council, they don't have to approve the movie night or the rest of the food trucks, do they?
I think generally we do.
Ah, well, then we
So-
do have an issue.
Yeah, well, now that we've got this,
Yeah,
then I will, after I check with Alan, then I can email the council to say, these are, well, because we're gonna vote on this before we adjourn, but
right,
that we have these dates set aside for these events and we'd like to get your approval.
yeah, and once we have a sense of like if there's the budget for the movie night and then if there's any, because I'm imagining the borough.
Well, if we can't get it donated, we would, you know, we might have to ask, you know, we would probably ask the borough if there's anything that they can
Right,
give us.
I have a quick question to go back to programming. I'm sorry, I won't keep this,
Sure,
don't keep us here too late. So you're talking about July and it's hot, right? So for programming, if we have a source from like a water source, we can set up, I know people do it like. For
oh, the
run-
slides and stuff.
well, maybe, but I was even thinking more of like everyone bring a Nerf gun, like or a water gun, and I don't know, with like, if they had like inflatable things, you do it with laser tag, but instead you could use it with a Nerf gun, I don't know, a water gun instead. Is that possible? Just to have all the kids, like, they would love that, they would go
Oh, yeah.
nuts. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know what our water sources
A
are.
water gun fight,
A water gun fight, basically, because water balloons, they're not sustainable, but I feel like,
Right.
I feel like.
There are
sprinklers or-
reusable water.
but then you have to pick them up, right?
They're connected by magnets. It's really pretty cool.
All right, are they're soft?
Yeah,
Looks like.
oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, they're really cool.
all right. But yeah, I should figure everyone has a water gun,
A
just
water
an
gun.
idea, we don't have to extend the meetings, but I just.
idea, that's
Like something to activate it in
Yeah.
July, I feel like water is key, getting to be able to cool off, so. I don't know if there's a water access point where they can refill their guns.
Yeah, there's a hose bib on the left side of the gazebo. One out back of the Girl Scout wing and then one in the field house.
Okay, so it's,
And mine, hopefully.
okay, so I don't know, we could just table it, but it was just an idea.
Oh, that is good.
That's a
Yeah.
very good idea.
Bring your super soaker.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Dennis, I would just be prepared, I know something we did with Oktoberfest when that was coming back. Is we had them come speak to council and, you know, just kind of run down, you know, the list of ideas, just so, you know. All council could see your energy and, you know, that you want to do it. So that way we're all on the same page for it.
Okay. So, Gene, when is the next meeting?
This Thursday.
Okay, so if I,
What's the meeting after that?
no, if I, Alan will get back to me tomorrow, but email tonight, but if we email the request to add it to the agenda tomorrow, isn't that enough time to get it added to the agenda? 48 hours, or I could, or,
I thought that recent notice from Maggie had to be 24-hour notice, so.
that's for posting to posting the agenda, but to be on the agenda,
Yeah, I would check with Maggie,
okay. Or I could just show up and do my public comment,
A new business.
public comment, yeah.
yeah, you could do a public comment just to put it on our radar and then, but then I think we would have to add it as a official action item.
For the next.
And that would give us time to kind of get more information about.
Well, that's what I was
potential
gonna
costs,
say, you want
and-
more information before it goes to council.
We just want the
anyway.
date, we just want the idea approved, or should we wait until we have more concrete? Like, what do you think?
I would pull more stuff together to have that. But it couldn't hurt to make a public comment just to put it on our radar.
This is the direction we're going in.
Right, so you're not,
You're gonna be there. you're not.
running into any like barriers, I think there might be.
Okay, all right, well, I will still confirm with Alan tomorrow, and, all right, so. Do I have a motion to approve, planning for a September 20th food truck festival and a Saturday and an April 26th movie night?
Yes.
All right, someone Do we have a motion?
I'm the motion.
All right,
And I'll, yeah.
Let's do it a
Move that
second.
we, move ahead with the plans.
Who wants to
we just
second this
discussed.
time?
all right. All in favor?
Uh,
Aye, all right, motion accepted. Great, well, this was wonderful, I appreciate everyone's efforts in preparation for today's meeting and during the meeting. And I'll call the meeting to, where the meeting is ended at 7 minutes after 8. All right.
Get back to
Okay,
you.
I'll send that to you. Amazing.